Good morning. No signals. Live is indicated. No signals. Good morning, everybody. Not yet started. Good morning, everyone. This is Engineer Suraj Singh on this day, May 2nd, 2021, Sunday. Back to you on quality issue, title of subject, title of talk, civil field engineering, designs, construction, methods, contracts, EPC, AnnexSL, organizations, communication, coordination, quantity, quality, and why we be behind quality of life, quality of engineering. Very important one for everyone. Well, this talk is different, little different, in a way that it covers many issues depending on in what way talk goes on. What way talk goes on, and it's very important when we have certain certificates related to profession, related to quality designations like I'm showing you, then it becomes responsibility of that person who holds these certificates and also society to respect what they think is not respected otherwise. That's very important point, and I have to be very much concerned about that, because you cannot say everything can be taken for granted. Nothing can be taken for granted. In fact, everything requires to be achieved, and that is what I say life is about. When we talk of quality, when talk of real requirement, when we talk of quality, it's not simply I want to achieve or someone else want to achieve. It is quality everywhere, and because quality in work does not exist, therefore we have been missing something. Just to brief in about COVID-19 issue in our country, what's happening is very, very critical. Something unknown is happening, though it was expected, but for some section of our country it was not expected. Our people careless one, our government super careless one. Both have joint efforts, both did apply joint efforts to bring our COVID-19 state to current level. Everyone is responsible, I can say. I can't put responsibility to people because people are people. People cannot decide. They have their own representative to decide, and that representative doesn't work. What happens, if a representative on a site, project site doesn't work, what happens? Site stops or site does unrequired activities. People who work on site do not care, and they become unorganized because there is no direction. There remains no direction, no mind application, and you can say that project site remains standing without any activity to go on, or no quality issues are controlled. Nation is constituted of each citizen, and there are millions and millions of citizens in every country. So is ours. 1300 million people currently. We can't expect people to act in unison, because had they acted in unison, there would have been required no representative or no government if they could govern themselves. Because people cannot govern themselves, that's why government is required. And government doesn't mean master, and people do not mean slave. Both are complementary to each other. Without government, people cannot survive, they cannot move, there can be no rule, no law and order situation, and no planning. And without people, there is no meaning of government. Now, state of COVID, I am referring to both these groups, people and government. Duty of government is to check every issue what people face. Government has to see in advance, has to view in advance, and should not mislead people of our country or people of some other country. Should not leave. Our government has failed to understand possible state that COVID-19 will acquire, despite it is having a big pool of experts. Our government could not even have a view of what could happen. Imaginary view we did not have. And if they have no view, they could find no solution. And if you move direct to a wrong path, you will get something struck on your face. That is what happened. Everybody could know that COVID would come, may not come, but one should be ready for that. But we were not ready, unfortunately, and that's what problem has come. COVID engineering did not apply itself, or you can say government did not apply any thoughts on COVID problem. No thinking, no contemplation, no engineering, no reliability, no analysis, nothing was done. Or they did not want to do anything because of cost escalation or cost or risk, and this did not happen. And this is why where we are reached now, we are here because of our own failure. With the speed with which COVID is moving is not, I can say, unexpected. In a country of 130 crores or 1300 million people, it's not big one. Provided we should have adequate infrastructure, we should have planned for that. We had time, but no, we did not do. And I can say we have to blame ourselves as nation. As nation, we should blame ourselves because we are a sleeping society. We sleep always. We sleep often. Until our head is broken, we sleep. Until water comes above nose and above eyes, we sleep. Until we cannot respire comfortably, we sleep. This is our habit, and we cannot progress. We have plenty of educated people in our country, and we call ourselves knowledge society. But I think that knowledge society only in bodies, not in souls. That knowledge society stays only in bodies, not in soul. And until soul is strong, soul is active, body cannot work. So we are physically educated, not mentally, We have millions and millions of population, millions and millions of individuals who are expert in every field, engineers, professors and scientists and many more. I'm not counting here, I'm not amounting here doctors and nurses because they have been doing their job wonderfully. So these designations cannot be called into question. Question stands with support that these people could extend to nation. They did not do, and they think automatically would happen and government would control. But government can control only when there exists some government. Physically, if government exists, it doesn't mean anything. Our government exists physically and not actually. There is no act the government has done that should have done. There is no act that they did. I have been posting my analysis, I think, for many months. Every day I find time and try to put in information and warn nation. But no warning has worked because people laugh on these issues. If you write some fact which may go against government, people don't like it. I least bother. People may not like or people may like, it doesn't matter. Facts cannot be hidden. You cannot hide certain facts forever. When water comes out or when it's rain or sun, everybody can see it. There is no need of explaining to someone that this is sun or this is rain. It works automatically. Rain works and sun works. No one can stop. It's like sun, it's like rain that COVID has come. You can't say it's like rain at this moment, because it's like more than tsunami, I can say. It is something, and it will expand itself. It shall intensify itself to higher levels. And that's point where we have to be very serious. Whatever they are saying, whatever news input I'm getting or we are getting through government sources, those are all incomplete. The stage has come where people have been left to themselves. Virtually, there exists no government to help people come out of this problem, because when it was limited to rich people or limited to higher middle class people, everybody was helping. But now it has come to common people. People don't want to help because they know, problem lies in another way. Yesterday it was 1st May 2021, and publication was released that 400 or more than 400,000 people contracted COVID-19 on last day. This is official figure. But is official figure reliable? That's a question to understand. As I said, reliability, we can think anything and write whatever figure we want, but it should be based on reality, and there's no reality in that. If you can't have space, if you can't have infrastructure just to burn bodies or cremate bodies, what can I say about that? If you can't have infrastructure to provide oxygen, what can I say about that? If you don't have infrastructure to admit people and to impart treatment with them, what can I say about that? No one can say anything. So infrastructure doesn't exist, oxygen distribution doesn't exist, beds do not exist, hospitals do not exist, and if there are new hospitals or temporary arrangements are made for accommodating patients, no doctors and nurses. Really, it is very, very strange. So you can say in 2021, this time, nation has come to a crossing, a very, very supercritical crossing, which is going to widen its carriageway now onwards, and people have to face it. All mistakes caused by government, all mistakes caused by these government experts, all mistakes caused by people of this country, ultimately nation has to suffer and is suffering. Nation has been suffering and we are not serious still. Engineering community is big gun for such problem. But engineering community, where does it exist? I don't know. Really? Are they worried for nation? I cannot say. Doctors are doing their job because this is the profession. Where second power of nation, which we call engineering community, where does it exist? I don't know location of that. They are busy in sleeping, or they are busy in seminars or webinars. I don't know. Where are they? They are not conducting as if they are citizens of this country and they are very serious people. They are busy in their own domain. They do not know what's happening in country. Domain will not help if country's people don't exist. What I to say? I have not seen any advice from these engineers, engineering institutions to people. They do not do any duty towards their social engineering. Engineering affects only when social engineering works. If social engineering doesn't work, your engineering is useless. There is no meaning of that. How to expand hospitals, bed system? Engineers can do better than someone else. It's not happening, unfortunate. I would simply say time is very critical. We should have written so much about this, how people should be helped. No testing arrangements by government. Testing means COVID. Testing whether you are positive or negative. Government failed to do this. There has been no plan on behalf of government to publish. In 13 months, they could not do it. Still 21 point something or 22% people only have been tested. What does it mean? If we cannot test our nation, even up to 25% in 13 months, even up to 25% in 13 months, what is our level of efficiency? How can we achieve our targets? Now there is an inoculation program, vaccination program, yet there is nothing in writing. When shall it finish? Hardly 10 to 11% people have been vaccinated so far. Hardly. And if you take it from 16th of January to 16th of February, 1 month, March 2nd month, and April 3rd month. April has gone. 3.5 months has gone because 100 days have gone. In 100 days we have vaccinated just 10-11% people. This is 10 times more we have to do it. This means 9 times more. So 27, 900 days we need. That's a question mark. Okay, even if you take 400 days, it's big one. Who shall wait for 400 days? It is criticality of this consideration of this talk. We do stand nowhere. We do stand nowhere. I'm not talking of cost of vaccination. I'm not talking availability. Question is duration. You should have a plan. You must have a plan. Though it may be tentative one, but it will be directive one. Direction is more important. People must know up to August, up to September, up to October, up to November, up to December. They should know how much time it will take. According to my assessment, it should be done within 3 months. But it has not been done. In 3 months only 10% people have been vaccinated. This means we are ill people, mentally ill society, mentally ill government. We think automatically it shall happen. When we think automatically, we can say we are not intellectual society members. Forget government. After all, people are government. And engineering is lead in world. Engineers are leaders, but our country engineers are sleepers. They don't care for anything. I should not say that being engineer, but my heart is breaking, my mind is not accepting. We are a sleeping society, unserious. We are only interested in professional activities. We are not accepting ourselves to accommodate with real life. Engineering can be learnt in many years, but it should be used forever. Engineering doesn't mean that we are having many degrees, but to what extent we can apply them, we can use them. That is important. And if society doesn't exist, where shall we do? What shall we do with engineering? Nothing. Our engineering shall be just like a poem, short story, nothing else. Engineering is meant for society. It may be this country's society or world society. And if you don't have that objective, there is no purpose of engineering. I am very much upset with this state of engineering community in this country. Least bothering community is engineering. Much better are those medicos who at least stand on front and help people at cost of their lives. And we are just enjoying, so sit home, stay safe, stay home. Stay home, stay safe. What does it mean? Safe from whom? How far? If suppose this COVID stays there for 3 years, shall you stay home? Question is that. Anyway, I'm not going to, I can say, I'm not going to talk on this anymore because I'm very upset with our community people. Really very upset. I want to talk of quality everywhere. What sort of quality? I don't know really what sort of quality I should. Actually, I write always quality everywhere. Designs, construction, cost, risks, method statements, performance time. All I analyze all this for sake of engineering. But I don't know really. It's very much unfair with me itself. I don't do justice with me. I don't do justice with profession. I don't do justice with nation. I don't do justice with humanity. If I can't consider humanity, then there is no meaning of my education. Whatever top person I am, there is no meaning of that. I would, I would, I would appeal to all engineers to think of how to come out of this problem, because we have no one else to think. There are only two professions in world, two fields in world. Those are actually responsible, they're actually accountable to people, and those are health field, medical field, and other one is development field, and that is engineering field. Other fields are all subsidiary, all talkative, all not independent, you can say, dependent on results of others. This may be accountancy, this may be law, this may be whatever else. Even you can say, I include engineering and sciences together. If engineers don't understand this, they don't understand their responsibility. I regret to say, society is a part of engineering. Engineering exists for society. Society doesn't exist for engineering. So we are responsible to help people in this health deteriorated situation. But we are not doing anything, unfortunately. No writing I have seen, no propositions I have seen, no criticism of government I have seen, no criticism of people I have seen. Government has caused many mistakes, people are careless. We should educate people of this country, we should advise government, but nothing is coming out. Nothing is coming out, really, unfortunately. I have no words to state that I have to see a time when engineers don't talk of nation, they talk of only engineering disciplines, which is not right time now. Yes, you conduct webinars, you conduct talks, you conduct debates, but before that, we have to think, are we safe? If we are not safe, there is no meaning of all these activities. Safety is first one. Our safety has gone, our health has gone, our environment has gone, and we are talking of stay home, stay safe. How can you stay safe at home when nation is burning? You cannot. My statements are very cruel, very critical, very you can say unpleasant, but yet these are factual based. Well, no one can help someone if someone doesn't want to help. That's also a fact of life. Come on to Engineering 1. This is File 2, Project Design Contract Awards and Miscellaneous. Some abbreviations were used in these. I talked of this before. And we can say then what are vendors' obligations to be enforced by contractor, etc. So much is there. We can read and understand. I think I did this before, but yet I don't remember exactly what we did but could not do. So let's once again refresh ourselves with this. There are, certain abbreviations we use just for your your refreshing reference, I can say. I speak on that. For example, some abbreviations we use: above ground, AG, AFC approved for construction, AFD approved for design, BFD block flow diagram, CCR central control room, then CCTV closed circuit television system, CCWS common cooling water system. This is important. Common cooling water system is something new. CCWS common cooling water system. CDR is conceptual design report. COM is commissioning. CP is cathodic protection. CT is cooling tower. CW is cooling water. DC is direct current. DC distribution control system. You can just blow it up. DC is direct current. DCS is distributed control system. I can say, hold on. DC is direct control. DCS is distributed control system. Easement: all land provided by client, all land provided by owner to be used by contractor for purpose of construction, or EPIC, that is engineering, procurement, installation, commissioning. ESDV is emergency shutdown. Well, EWS Engineering Workstation. F80 FAT factory acceptance test. F80 FAT, which is factory acceptance test. F40 fiber optics transmission system. And feed you know very well front end engineering design. FMEA is failure mode and effects analysis. FO is fiber optics. FRP is fiber reinforced plastic. Generic name including GRP, GRV and GRE piping. FNG fire and gas system. GAD is general arrangement drawing. GIS is gas insulated switchgear. Gas insulated switchgear. GP is geo positioning system. GRE is glass reinforced epoxy. GRP is glass reinforced polyester. GRV is glass reinforced vinyl ester. So P stands for polyester and V stands for vinyl ester. E stands for epoxy. GGBS is granulated glass, granulated ground blast furnace slag. HVAC is heat, ventilation and air conditioning. HMI is human machine interface. HSSD high sensitivity smoke detection. Then HMI is human, HSD is high sensitivity smoke detection. ICA is instrument control and automation. ICA is instrument control and automation. IFD is intermediate distribution frame. IO is input output. Intol, trademark name of Intergraph software for instrumentation engineering. IST is integrated system test. ITP inspection and test plans. IO and M initial operating and maintenance. LAN local area network. LBV line break valves. LER local equipment room. LLCC is local lot control center. LEED is leadership in energy and environment design. MC is mechanical completion. MCC is motor control center. MDF is main distribution frame. MO is motor operated valve. MTO material takeoff. MWS is marine warranty surveyor. MS is microsilica. ONF oil natural air forced. ON oil natural air natural. ONN PABX private automated telephone exchange. PAGA public address general alarm. PCA is pre-commissioning. PCS is process and utility control system. PDCC is power distribution control center. PDS is Plesiochronous digital hierarchy. PDS Plesiochronous digital hierarchy. PDS is plant design system. PMS is power management system. PEMS is power energy management system. PFD is process flow diagram. PFS is process flow scheme. PH is pump house. PIS is plant information system. PLS is programmable logical controller. PNID is process and instrumentation diagram. PSFS process safety flow scheme. PSS is plant safety system. PSV is pressure safety valve. PTZ is plant tilt tube. PCC plain cement concrete. PFA pulverized fuel ash. You can learn PFAs. It says PSS is plant safety system. PSV is pressure safety valve. PTZ is plant tilled zoom. PCC is plain cement concrete. PFA pulverized fuel ash. QA, QR, QC, quantity quality assurance is a mistake. Sorry, it's not quantity, it's quality. Quality assurance, quality requirement, and quality control. QA is quality assurance, QR quality requirement, QC is quality control. NCS is National Construction Specification. National Construction Specification. RAM, you know RAM very well. We all know RAM. Everybody of us knows RAM, and that's very important now. Custom scam, I think. No, it's not custom scan. Let's go as scan option. Full system scan. Let's go down. Listen to one by small scan. Quick scan. That's a quick scan. So now we see NCS National Construction Specification. RAM is reliability, availability, maintainability. Reliability, what you call random access memory, also we call it RAM, but also reliability, availability, and maintainability, RAM. RB is receiving basin. So RAM has two, one is for computer, one is for plants, reliability, availability, and maintainability. RB receives receiving basin, and RF is ready for construction or commissioning. Ready for commissioning is better, I think RFC. RFQ is requisition for quotation. RMU is ring main unit. ROW is right of way. RTTU remote transmission terminal unit. RCC, you know well, reinforcement concrete, and rebar reinforcing bar, RRB. So we can say now we go to ROW, right of way, and RTTU is remote transmission terminal unit. RTTU remote transmission terminal unit. RCC I have already told. SAFE, SAFE, SAFE. Let us see what is that. I am trying to scan it, but I don't find it. Okay, then SAFE is SAFE, safety analysis function evaluation chart. Safety analysis function evaluation chart. SCADA generally say supervisory control and data acquisition or monitoring system. SDH is synchronous digital hierarchy. SPT is sustained performance test. SDH is synchronous digital hierarchy. SPT is sustained performance test. STM is synchronous time modeling. TETRA, TETRA, trunked radio. Trunked radio. TPC is third party certification agency. TPI is third party inspector. TTL, transistor, logic. UFD is utility flow diagram, UF is utility flow scheme, and UPS is uninterrupted power supply system. UG is underground. VDRL, vendor data requisition list, VSD is variable speed drive, VSDS is variable speed drive system. Involvement of multidisciplinary team for required design. Let us see what is that. Involvement of multidisciplinary teams for required design. Process engineers, chemical engineers, let us say process. We are going to start with process because this plant is nothing but process. So process engineers, chemical engineers, reservoir engineers, mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, electronics engineers, instrumentation engineers, IT engineers, civil and structural engineers, coordinating engineers, planning engineers, quantity engineers, surveying engineers, cost control engineers, etc. shall be included or should be included to formulate an overall strategy of designing proposed plant processing system, further supported by soil engineers, hydrographic engineers, geological engineers. After having proposed basic design, been thus conceptualized, further detailed works shall be undertaken for documentation by all disciplinary teams for elaborate formations relating to various details which to be used on proposed project. EPIC is engineering procurement, installation and construction, and EPC is engineering procurement and construction. Contractor, subcontractor, supplier, vendor. Subcontractors as engineering consultants or project leaders or managers. Front-end engineering design requires complete technical know-how about relevant proposed facility, design technology and construction requirements, details that are fed to client for inception of whole scheme, which client approves, and based on feed package, bid tender documents should be prepared for required engineering procurement and installation contracts awards. This class of bidding or tendering necessitates an extremely competitive and competent bidders to be technically, commercially and in all respects a completely well established, experienced, pragmatic, sound organization. Complete front end loading is to be established and provided to appointed, elected design scheme. EPIC contracting requires complete understanding of processing technology. EPI contracting requires complete understanding of processing technology, all included trains functions or processing trains functions and life cycle of implementation of technology, design know-how, giving all detailed design calculations for best and warranted performance of proposed facility as well as whole design and its performance in short as well as in long run of facility service life, which should be commercially competitive. I speak again for this para. EPIC contracting requires complete understanding of processing technology, all included trains functions and life cycle of implementation of technology, life cycle here it is, design know-how, giving all detailed design calculations for best and warranted performance of proposed facility as well as whole design and its performance in short as well as in long run of facility service life, which should be commercially competitive. EPIC contracting proposes its own qualified subcontractors as well as qualified vendors organization to be included as further extended support. Design subcontractor shall also be included as a support in case proposed EPIC organization is not adequately qualified as either a competent designer or as a consultancy group or not having an in-house design capability. EPIC contracting proposes its own qualified subcontractor as well as qualified vendors organization to be included as further extended support. Design subcontractor shall also be included as support in case proposed EPIC organization is not adequately qualified as either a competent designer or a consultancy group or not having an based on aforesaid abbreviations are produced schematically while preparing FAID documents for information purpose, provided to bidder for communication about proposed intention of client project requirement. I repeat 13. All documents based on aforesaid abbreviations are produced schematically while preparing FAID documents for information purpose, provided to bidder for communication about proposed intention of client project requirement. FAID contractor of client should provide as much data as possible to enable EPIC contractor understand various client requirements fully comprehensively for EPIC implementation of contract and offer bid price accordingly. It must again be stressed that FAID is endorsed by proposed EPIC contractor while submitting bid as an evidence of acceptance of FAID and its incorporation on detailed designs based on which all works shall be executed or prosecuted. FAID document is considered significantly valuable since it gives outline and details of complete design and philosophical requirements to be considered while designing all units, trains, structures and relevant equipment. Generally, all relevant all national and international codes intended to be complied with are included. Full information about project objective and purpose is included. Indicative. All intended elements or components to be included within and integrated in various areas such as offsites, process, administration and others are indicated. Indicative use and design requirements from engineering and technical viewpoints are included. FAID documents should provide complete history of proposed project including site location, background in all respects, so that bidder is quite clear about proposition to a maximum possible extent. Now, project tender documents. Project tender or bid documents. Now, this we explained above, which is aforesaid team of engineers. There may be 10 discipline engineers, 10 to 15 discipline engineers. Aforesaid team of engineers shall prepare all required documents necessary for facilitating an invitation of EPIC bids, tenders from short-listed parties. These documents must cover basic requirements and design philosophies pertaining to all disciplines to enable bidder know each and every requirement precisely. All disciplines shall be given full feedback in all respects in form of project drawings, specifications, soil test reports, survey reports, marine survey report, bathymetric survey report, marine geological report, other conducted studies and observations, climatic conditions, various scheduled milestones, relevant quality standards to be adhered to, including all other essential parts of project contractual demands. I repeat 3. All disciplines be given full feedback in all respects in form of project drawings, specifications, soil test reports, survey reports, marine survey report, bathymetric survey report, marine geological report, other conducted studies and observations, climatic conditions, various scheduled milestones, relevant quality standards to be adhered to. These documents should be crystal clear without involving any ambiguity. As far as possible, details about all equipment to be permanently included on proposed project should be described within various documents. All national and international codes to be complied with should be enlisted explicitly. Project design parameters should be explicitly defined with allowed options. Which national or international codes are relevant should explicitly be included for compliance. Documents shall be provided in soft as well as on hard copies. All files included within hard copies must be supported by soft copies, and all updates regularly added for circulation to relevant parties or bidders. And also nowadays BIM is in use, so BIM must be there. Production of such huge volume of design, experienced team of professionals, experts from all disciplines to meet design schedule requirements as well as project construction requirement. Project documents may include budgetary provisions, field provisions, forms of contract, special conditions or particular conditions of contract, general conditions of contract, designs, drawings relating to all disciplines, soil exploration report, processing drawings, drawings of prospective project specifications, general specifications, bill of quantities if available, etc. Presentation of demanded project should also be included in person by client representative by holding site visits many times with all bidders so that no ambiguity is left from a clear understanding of requirements viewpoint. Such meetings provide certain opportunities to various prospective bidding parties to raise various questions and obtain or receive necessary clarifications. It's much better to raise silly questions sometimes if given provisions are unclear, rather avoiding them. It's the fact that some misunderstanding, misinterpretation based on incorrect assessment of bid cost for a project can cost millions of dollars as well as contribute to loss of time and overall delay on project scheme delivery. Maintenance, preparation, documents, submission submit the applies at end of construction. That's mechanical completion project, but information are required to be issued at feed stage for long-term evaluation purpose as well as value engineering consideration. Contractors' obligations pertaining maintenance, preparation, general engineering and procurement, which contractor shall take into account in its design of proposed facility, its maintainability criteria, philosophy and requirements of spares to be defined in proposed feed design package. In particular, contractors shall make permanent provisions for accessibility without dismantling of other equipment, dismantling, tooling, laydown and handling of heavy parts. Make provisions for online monitoring of vital rotating machinery and certainly define critical ratings for equipment, sparing requirements for equipment, components and relevant parts. Contractor shall prepare and submit necessary required maintenance documentation as generally defined in various relevant exhibits, integrate its maintenance requirement in its vendor selection process and obtain vendor's document generally defined as such. Requirements for vendors selection, pre-qualification, regarding which prior to issuing a call for tender for critical items, contractor shall check vendor's capabilities such as ability to submit tenders, conforming demands, quality requirements, technical and financial long-term competency and stability demands, existence and suitability of quality requirements, assurance procedures within vendor's structure covering relevant manufacturing process, relevant quality control process of raw materials, required assembly of components, required performance and conformity tests, required internal quality audits, capability to supply after sales service for maintenance, technical assistance, supply of parts, procedures for collection of product, performance feedback. I repeat this last para. Last para. Technical and financial long-term competency and stability demands existence and suitability of quality requirement, assurance procedures within vendor's structure covering relevant manufacturing process, relevant quality control process of raw materials, required assembly of components, required performance and conformity tests, required internal quality audits, capability of supply after sales service for maintenance, technical assistance, supply of parts, procedure for collection of product, performance feedback. Bid evaluation. Bid evaluation. Contractor shall take into account at bid evaluation stage following defined criteria for vendor selections and accordingly advise vendors that their bids would be evaluated on such considered basis, so that prospective vendors must include pertinent price if so affected by such consideration. Bid price and conformity to project specification. Cost of 2 years or as specified in projected contract recommended operating spare parts for all involved machines or equipment to be installed on project. Reliability of components. Reliability of components, identification of components non-standardized or non-tested by vendor under conditions similar to project conditions. Various components should be fully reliable to meet their intended functional requirement for their efficient performance operations. Standardization, identification of non-standard components, justifications for recommending such components, cost of spare parts needed for such components. Full cost of spare parts contractually required according to specifications shall be included within bid correctly. Availability guarantees ratio, optimal conditions, optimal performances for which evidence is to be obtained from proposed prospective vendors by visiting factory as well as various references, works carried out inclusive on track record. Availability guarantee ratio, optimal conditions, optimal performances for which evidence to be obtained from proposed prospective vendors by visiting factory as well as various references, works carried out inclusive on track record. Proposed vendor shall provide with all technical brochures. Proposed vendor shall provide with all technical brochures for intended product to EPIC contractor along with its bid, all documents giving all performance evidences. Equipment spare parts performance shall also be witnessed by visiting manufacturing location of proposed spare parts. Safety protection rating, verification of performance evaluation, means for condition monitoring, recommended frequency and duration of maintenance interventions, total annual duration, maximum duration of a major intervention, availability, reliability, MTBF, MTTR, availability of after sales service rating, availability of spare parts list, availability of documentation list, availability of documentation list, operational list of special tools, maintainability, modularity, disassembly, accessibility rating. Such ratings should be obtained from some of available independent agencies' published documents, which should indicate that its observation and conducted relevant studies performed without any interference by proposed vendor. Third-party agencies usually publish correct effectiveness of these vendors' product and services in parts or in totality at regular intervals or as required for some special assignment. Handling. Similar record should be confirmed from available database of past successful projects on history of vendors' track records and included with submission to contract engineer as an evidence of monitor proposed product efficiency. Maintenance guarantees. This guarantee is required for intended contractual maintenance duration for all involved machines, equipment, etc. Stability of vendor, quality assurance, after sales structure, proposals for maintenance, contract rating, guaranteed reliability, contract rating, that is, training program also rating, vendor maintenance recommendations, management and monitoring rating, first level maintenance rating, diagnosis tables rating, preventive and on condition operations rating, method of interventions rating, identification of conformity certificates, requirements for component testing. Various provisions of all aforesaid documents from prospective vendors, records, substantiate proposed vendor's claim about its reliability and consequently leads one step to customer satisfaction. Various provisions of all aforesaid documents from prospective vendors, records, substantiate proposed vendor's claim about its reliability and consequently leads to one step to customer satisfaction. Vendor's obligations to be enforced by contractor. Contractor shall generally carry out various procurement steps required to have competent vendors who meet maintenance bid specifications requirements for intended supply of equipment and consistent documentation. Contractor shall prepare and include a vendor's maintenance requirements specification in call for tenders and purchase orders in line with given client guidance and submit for client's approval. Contractor shall obtain, check, approve and issue vendor maintenance documents. Documentation is maintenance dossiers and prepare their respective mechanical catalog. EPIC contractor shall comply with all given manufacturer's instruction in respect of each and every equipment or each product, and all evidences in this respect shall have to be provided as quality requirement assurance documentation to client engineer for approval and permanent recording. Expected vendors maintenance dossiers shall generally include but not be limited to as following. Guidance is in essence only: equipment data, equipment descriptions, equipment inventory, technical data sheet, reference number, serial number, tag number, purchase order number, connection parameters, piping, electrical instruments, software documentation both in electronic format and as hard copy, operating documentation, operating procedures, online monitoring, first level maintenance by operators, lubricant schedule. All these documents and also some other additionally required one shall be approved by client engineer for implementation on its performance monitoring. Maintenance documentation per types of equipment, scheduled inspections or interventions, preventive, on failure and overall maintenance procedures. including descriptions of personal tools, spare parts, drawings required, troubleshooting charts, list of consumables, list of special tools, spare parts list SPL under format attached to equal or equivalent, drawing, journal arrangement drawings, section drawings, schematic and wiring drawings, control loop diagrams, logic diagrams, cause and effect sheets. All these documents shall be properly numbered and recorded by EPIC Document Center. Technical proposal. Technical proposal. It is unavoidable in this age of bidding, tendering, particularly on various industrial projects of international quality requirement, assurance nature, that all bids are submitted in two parts. All bids are submitted in two parts, either together or separately, depending upon defined client requirement. Technical bid is always considered a lead submission package on commercial to fully and comprehensively assure whether or not involved project bidder got professional capability to execute and prosecute intended requirements of project smoothly and efficiently, keeping within limits of constraints such as time, quality and cost. Technical bid is always considered a lead submission package on commercial to fully and comprehensively assure whether or not involved project bidder got professional capability to execute and prosecute intended requirements of project smoothly and efficiently, keeping within limits of constraints such as time, quality and cost. In case submitted technical bid is rejected, there should be no further need for involved bidder to propose commercial part of project bid, or if both bids are submitted together, incompetency on technical bid shall stop further consideration of bidder. Technical bid is a voluminous document containing complete details of bidder's intentions to carry out proposed project, execution from its commencement to its completion stage, describing in details ways, procedures and methods for each and every part of intended proposed project, defining how demanded requirement shall be handled and whether or not bidder is adequately resourceful, technically capable, and further scrutinizing all other aspects expected by client and engineer, bid is evaluated. Technical bid should contain fully descriptive and completely integrated infrastructure of involved bidder in all respects about design and execution philosophies, execution plan, machinery and manpower proposal. Alternative proposal, if so necessary, contemplated by bidder, full design criteria materials proposed from its authentic source, acceptability of third-party certification, deviation from defined contract and its controls, complete safety program details and risk analysis, hazard study, safety records, safety plans, proposed evidence of past safety capability records, various well-designed formats to be employed for using during whole duration of project cycle, including post-mechanical construction maintenance. I read it again, it's a long para. Technical bid should contain fully descriptive and completely integrated infrastructure of involved bidder in all respects about design and execution, philosophies, execution plan, machinery and manpower proposal, alternative proposal if so necessary, contemplated by bidder, full design criteria, materials proposed from its authentic source, acceptability of third-party certification, deviation from defined contract and its controls, complete safety program details and risk analysis, hazard study, safety records, safety plans proposed, evidence of past safety capability records, various well-designed formats to be employed for using during whole duration of project cycle, including post-mechanical construction maintenance. It also requires descriptive proposals from its quality assurance and quality control section, providing all necessary formats and detailed methods of quality control maintenance, including inspection and test plans, checklist and all quality documentation procedures, execution or project construction method statements, as well as provisions respecting proposed independent materials testing laboratory. All procedures pertaining company documentations shall be included, involving internal documents, metrics used and ensuring that documents traceability is smooth all times to come. Engineering procedures including procurement shall also be included within this proposal, giving complete feedback on proposed designing system, software to be used, designers potential, complete requirement of job related materials, job temporary facilities to accommodate proposed manpower, etc. Since required technical proposal is based on bid provided feed documents by client or company or client company appointed feed contractor, whatever the contents of required technical proposal be presented should be based on necessary technical directives, compliance included within bid feed, documentation procedures, execution of project, okay, bid feed and bidder's base form. Bidder's base form proposal should not at all deviate from bid feed requirements. Competent bidder is required to endorse submitted technical bid, stating that given bid is complete based upon provided feed, meeting all requirements unconditionally without any qualifications. Its content of certification should be in accordance to client format, provided there may be an alternative proposal in addition to bidder's firm proposal, which may satisfy all requirements of feed in addition to making contributing cost and time savings to promote client according to defined value engineering consideration that owner or client could accept if all proposals comply with provisions included within feed. Within feed, technical proposal is very comprehensive. Presentation, content wise, giving all information of proposed contract execution involving all aspects from design to its implementation, performance and handover stage. No room is allowed for any commercial reflection. No room is allowed for any commercial reflection within technical submission. In fact, by making evaluation of these documents, contents, thorough consistency and capacity of bidder is measured from all aspects. Many rounds of technical submission, including technical meetings, are conducted to scrutinize submission of all included chapters. These chapters should be simple in presentation style to allow full, clear communications from bidder to contract engineer, client, to facilitate an easy understanding pertaining to proposed project execution. All sources of procurable materials, equipment and all other items, components to be used for all permanent inclusions on project should be enlisted in a scheduled manner in line with all feed requirements. Proposed works scheduled to meet bid definition milestones should be explicitly described, convincing everyone concerned, stakeholder on client company end, that bid approach is feasible to achieve indicated or defined targets in practical terms, so that commissioning of facility shall move smooth without causing any problem. All workforce and staffing levels as well as management to supervise and direct bid project should be clearly defined, including required CVs of all key level personnel. These levels should meet bid defined criteria according to given feed as well as bid expected professional competencies. Design procedures should be clearly defined in a precise manner, including giving all designations of information technology to be utilized for bid project. In brief, all other proposals for bid proposed facilities for all temporary works as well as for all permanent works should be included explicitly. It is quite a long format but should be precise and clear point to point involving all significant considerations points. Bid client is never interested in a voluminous documentation for show off purpose, but a precise content giving all true and relevant information should always be welcome. It should be remembered that all these proposal documents should be required for bid actual demonstration, proving required consistency as well as competency and capacity reflected on bid proposal. It's better not to propose something which is not practiced by bidder, otherwise demonstration could detract bidder. Many cases have been noticed when after submission of proposal, comments are received from client company engineer asking for requiring many clarifications which are difficult to reply positively and satisfactorily. Better be straightforward for bid submission. Quality requirement, assurance as well as execution statements constitute very important and significant role for providing value to project technical bid, for which due time and devotion must be given by the post bidder. Relevant experts should be engaged for requires detailed inclusions of all necessary information, inclusion within bid documents for engineer, company, client consideration or review. Unto award, untoward, untoward information should preferably be avoided. Once project bid is short listed, either by client, company, engineer or by project establishment, bid competency call for its commercial presentation should be given to bidder. Now we'll go to another word, and that is contract award, which is very important part, and we should be very much interested in that. Contract award, you can have this. Meanwhile, you know, contract award is very important part, but we have to wait for a few minutes before I'll be back for this. I can go for 10 minutes, come back, because one minute, please. I'm just coming back. Don't worry. Okay. Okay, dear friends, I'm back. So, notably, we are moving fast, is it? I think we have to move like this, right? Contact award which was here. If you talk about this contact award, we have to talk this issue. Within now says that within this procedure all shortlisted parties to be invited to tender for company or client EPIC bid, who in turn calculate cost of demanded facility on EPIC basis, or EPC lump sum firm price basis for either whole or part of project job in defined fixed time basis, fixed time based on compliance with all feed documents provided. Within this procedure, all shortlisted parties shall be invited to tender for company or client EPIC bid, who in turn calculate cost of demanded facility on EPIC basis or EPC lump sum firm price basis for either whole or part of project job in defined fixed time based on compliance with all feed documents provided. Complete submission shall include technical bid on one part and commercial bid on other part. Sufficiency of its technical bid part shall decide whether or not its commercial bid part should be considered. After having its technical bid qualified by project bidder, qualified bidders shall be notified by engineer or representative of client or company about opening time schedule of its commercial bids. Then EPIC contract shall be awarded after complete scrutiny of all bids documents, availability of contract performance bonds, and ascertaining fully its efficiency of project quality as well as capability pertinent project proposed contractor. A letter of award shall be issued by client representative engineer instructing project successful bidder to immediately commence project job, giving one contract effective date of commencement. A date shall be appointed by a client or engineer representative for project contract execution between client and successful bidder, as well as for initial kick-off meeting. An agenda shall be drawn for kick-off meeting defining sequence of deliberation, contract points to be discussed, while all officials and authorities from both parties would be certainly required to be present during this kick-off meeting. Project successful bidder, prospective contractor shall affirmatively make available its representatives to execute formal contract documents on that appointed day, failing which project client enjoys legal right to claim bidder's bank release tender bond amount to compensate to client owner company. A date shall also be fixed or appointed by clients instructing project contractor to submit required performance bonds insurance policies about project works, as well as for proposed personal accidents coverage and all other necessary legal documents. Regarding these contractual obligations, according to provisions included and added on general conditions of contract as also on contract particular conditions. Details about all deductibles, amounts covered under all policies, etc. shall be submitted according to agreed documentation procedures. Executional programming, a contractual binding document. Contractor shall immediately prepare a detailed execution plan based on project brief level 1 or master plan, you can say, that was included within document technical proposal at bid stage for all complete contracts works from level 1 to level 5, or as its case may be, in specified Primavera or MS project software format, as agreed with company or engineer, or as defined within project contract condition specifications. Program schedule shall cover all overall outline in NAT format, GNAT format, with CPM support, include all contract milestones defined, discipline and element or component wise detailed activities, detailed manpower, detailed machineries, recovering delays, methods, identification of problems with proposed resolutions, activities wise measurements of works, percentage based on agreed method of man hours or work hours, evaluation or time based activities, as well as cost wise breakdown applicable to WBS, work breakdown structure, work activity breakdown structure. Progress S curves indicating various phases shall be included, showing man hours or work hours, histograms, work plan progress, machines availability histograms, cash flow, etc. Whatsoever required by client, engineer, or considered necessary for a good record and reflection of project progress measurement, or required to be applied for risk coverage to time, cost, and quality controls. Once contractor's program is approved, it shall not be altered. It shall not be altered but constitute as a base program to monitor and control all project. Whole progress, coordinate, and if so required, time recovery shall be applied should there be any delay or cause of delay to project plan progress. In addition to an overall descriptive program, monthly 90 days look ahead, monthly submittable program shall also be charted out regularly to monitor achieved progress on detailed basis. This program shall be supported by a detailed method statement giving complete information about all phases of works and their relevant elements arranged in an order, keeping in view indicated priorities on contract project to accomplish aforesaid approved program effectively. Major sequences of operations to be covered from project home office activities, including corporate management affairs, designing, procurement, documentation, selection of subcontractor, engineering, procurement, deliveries, controls, customs, material storing, quality assurance, cost control, and taking down to site relevant activities in all respects. This part shall be taken up and considered very seriously, as work progress movement rests on its actual level of performance. All foregoing functions constitute supports to project front office performance. In case these functions are conducted inefficiently by back or support office, front-end progress achievement shall be adversely impacted upon. Organization charts shall be presented showing contract design office, contract head office, site office, subcontractors offices and all others, directly or indirectly connected parties, and giving full description respecting all such project parties or stakeholders and above their corporate structures. Curriculum vitae respecting key personnel to be involved on project complete execution of contract project shall be proposed for approval by engineer or client. Without such contractual approval, no key personnel shall be allowed to work on project contract. Every project defines its level of requirements pertinent or pertaining to essential qualifications and expertise for all key personnel to be dedicated to for all smooth deliveries of a contract requirement. Format for execution program. Format for execution program. Format for execution program only for guidance. Scope, work, breakdown, structure, contractors organization, including details of its organization, subcontractors organization, job positions and descriptions of key personnel down to supervisory level, contracting strategy, direct hire, direct control or organization or management home office activities, other contractors interface methods to making sure that you can say scope, work, breakdown, structures, contractors organization, including details of organization, subcontractors organizations, job positions and descriptions of key personnel down to supervisory level, contracting strategy, direct hire, direct control or organization home office activities, other contractors interface coordinations, operations, mobilization, breakdown of manpower or work power by state including manpower histograms, major equipment utilization schedule, construction sequence. Construction sequence. Temporary facilities including utilities and camp accommodations, site preparations, underground piping, underground electrical and instrumentation, civil foundations and concrete work. Structural steel equipment erection, pipe fabrication, pipe erection, electrical instrumentation control systems, telecommunication, painting, insulation, pipeline. Sequence of construction for all activities may contain many chapters, while foregoing description is given only for a guideline purpose. since those technical matters are not in scope of this document. Now systems. Quality organization or management systems, material management or organization system, customs formalities, sports storage, transportation to site, warehousing, storage material, handling, general responsibilities of field materials, personal, material receiving and inspections, requirements, maintenance procedures, protection and preservation procedures. What we need? We need systems, quality management or organization systems, material organization or management system, customs formality, port storage and transportation to site, warehousing, storage, materials handling, general responsibilities of field materials, personal, material receiving and inspections, requirements, maintenance procedures, protection and preservation procedures. Systems, site security, heavy lift and transport, personal transport, manpower, direct and indirect, field non-manuals, construction automation plan, document control acceptance. Systems, mechanical completion incorporating pre-commissioning and commissioning organization, job descriptions, closeout, attachment, etc. Systems, site organization charts, field non-manual staffing plan, subcontract plan, numbers, names and scope of each subcontract. Level 2, construction schedule, manpower loading, histograms by trade including both direct and indirect. Systems, equipment utilization plan, temporary facilities and camp accommodation plans. Stages of execution. EPC project delivery contractor, safety, health and environment, safety plans, training, induction, regular courses, special courses, site walks, toolbox talks, risk analysis, corrective programs, inspection, awards, audits, and many more in safety. JHA, you can say start card, like that. Quality requirement assurance, QA, QC, quality plans, training, induction, regular courses, special courses, audits, laboratory dossiers. Then in engineering, you can say safety and health we have talked of, and then quality and then engineering. In quality itself means so many items are there in quality plans which are very important for every project, and we have to take care of that, though it's not included in this, but there's a quality plan. We will have complete details included with that what quality department has to do. Engineering design, detailed philosophy, design in detailing, shop drawings, working drawings, schedules or schedules, technical queries, site works queries, proposals for technical resolutions, documentation, appraisals, construction ability checks, inference of technical documents, engineering meetings, construction method statements. Construction and controls, mobilization, materials, manpower, equipment, procurement, physical construction, contract management or organization, construction project management or organization. Testing, pre-commissioning, commissioning, performance and maintenance, operations and maintenance, third-party certifications, project records issued for construction, documents, red lines, markups, as built, operation and maintenance manuals. Punch list, snacks. Then you can say, let us say once again this. Engineering is design, detail, philosophy, design, detailing, shop drawing, working drawings, schedules, technical queries, site work queries, proposals for technical resolutions, documentation appraisals, construction ability work checks, inference of technical documents, engineering meetings, construction method statements, construction controls, mobilization, material, manpower, workforce, equipment, procurement, physical construction, contract management or contract organization, construction project organization management, testing, pre-commissioning, commissioning, performance and maintenance, operations and maintenance, third-party certifications, project records issued for construction documents, red line markups, as-built drawings, as-built operation maintenance manuals, punch list, snacks, visual defects, technical defects, minor non-conformance, snags, rectification, remedial measures, investigation. Mechanical completion, pre-commissioning, commissioning, site acceptance test. Now we can say mechanical completion, pre-commissioning and commissioning, site acceptance test, performance, plant performance, final completion, maintenance and successful performance, handover, recording, learning, lessons, suggestions about subcontractors. Okay, so we can say handover, record, learning, lessons, suggestions about subcontractors, about client engineer, close out reports, close out discharge, then warranty, liability, relevant effects, guarantees for required periods. Now industrial safety briefs, which is very important point. Industrial safety brief. Industrial safety brief. First and foremost is considered safety for every project. The slogan is safety first, very common among all safety promoting projects. Without safety provisions intact, no work is allowed. Safety is a must and responsibility of everyone. Every person working on every project must use personal protective equipment (PPE) and all necessary special precautions must be adhered to whenever directed by dedicated safety official responsible for project. All activities must be conducted in a safe manner to its best possible minimum cost incurred on safety to achieve zero accidental performance. All activities must be conducted in a safe manner to its best possible minimum cost incurred on safety to achieve zero accident performance. In case no proper arrangements are made to keep safety intact, project execution of pertinent activities should be suspended. On important works, safety team must be present to or support project construction. On important work, safety team must be present to support project construction team for helping conduct smooth safety management organization on all activities. In case no proper arrangements are made to keep safety intact, project execution pertinent activities should be suspended. Site engineers should abide by relevant instruction and direction. Then you can say on important work, safety team must be present to support project construction team for helping conduct smooth safety management organization on all activities. Site engineers should abide by relevant instructions and direction given by developed safety personnel. Then we can say proper crane. Site just should abide by relevant instruction and direction given by deployed safety personnel. Proper care must be adhered to during deep excavation works as well as on ground and overhead works. Safety ensures no safety, no pain, no safety, no pain. Try to see spelling of this. KNOW, no. Safety, if you know safety, if you maintain safety, you will not find any pain. So no safety, no pain. If you don't conduct safety, you will find pain. No safety, no pain. It's very interesting phrase. Safety plans. Discipline activity based plan. Safety plan should be prepared in conjunction with construction in charge, approved and designed, issued by corporate safety department for virtual guidance of construction personnel. Safety plans. Training. Various classes of on-site training are considered necessary to be imparted all personnel for on-site implementation. Various classes of on-site training are considered necessary to be imparted to all site personnel for on-site implementation. No site admittance should be allowed to whatever personnel or any personnel, whether or not full-time working on site without formal safety induction. Discipline activities based on safety plan should be prepared in conjunction with construction in charge, approved and issued. Now, training we have taken consideration of induction. Now, Let us say training again. Various classes of on-site trainings are necessary to be imparted to all site personnel for on-site implementation. No site admittance should be allowed to any personnel, whether or not full-time working on site, without formal safety induction. Induction immediate on joining, all personnel should be given safety induction training course duly recorded on proper register for imparted training. This training must include all precautionary instructions required to be complied with on working site, generally to be prosecuted on site. Provision should be defined for punishment for those personnel working in safety violations. Housekeeping. Housekeeping. Training should be given to all personnel to keep all working and other areas tidy during and at end of working day. All tools should be properly kept on site. No material should lie here and there unattended, but should be properly stored. Housekeeping training should be given to all personnel to keep all working and other areas tidy during and at end of working day. All tools should be properly kept on site or in site store. No material should lie here and there unattended, but it should be properly stored. Working environment should be made good, comfortable, and also felt comfortable by all concerned personnel supervising safety. Every supervisor should be trained for full understanding of managing safe supervision over all site operations. How to handle defined below and above groundwork, and how to handle all overhead works. How to make all workers understand all procedures of safety handling respective operations, so as no operation should affect workers' health badly or adversely, causing no overstress impact physically. Heat stroke. On construction sites, particularly in hot and arid regions, adverse effects of heat stroke are imminent to workers. They should be taught, they should be imparted all methods respective how to prevent such incidents by gradually inducting every worker to hot working conditions, and over timings adjustments due to fact that often heat stroke can lead to death of personnel. Fire watch. Every worker should be clearly taught ways of surveillance on possible fire incident, chances if occurs, how to handle to extinguish such fire break spread, tools for fire watch. Just a minute please, let me go. It's also very important point. Fire watch. very important item because fire is, very powerful. every worker every worker should be clearly taught ways to surveillance on possible fire incident, chances if occurs chances of fire if occurs, how to handle to extinguish such fire, break spreads. Toolbox talks. In general, prior to begin certain activity, toolbox talk should be given to concerned group working on given activity involving particular or all callings. How minor or major injury may occur during carelessly using handling involved tools and how to act if personnel is injured. Detail of involved activity, procedures, how to safely handling tools and what precautions are necessary to adhere to should all be made clear and ensure that every personnel understands such handling methods, such handling procedures correctly. Toolbox talks. Skilled workers, this was for general, this is for skilled workers. Every skilled worker, semi-skilled or unskilled, should know about proper use of tools and maintenance of these. They should be explained about all types of dangers if various tools are not properly used during work. Liquid consumption of and food. Every worker should consume water or available drinks after a period of work interval frequently to protect one from imminent adverse effect by dehydration, or should be allowed frequent intermittent rest pauses during hot weather conditions as well as during carrying out of very critical activities. Dust prevention. Dust accumulation causes environment degradation affecting badly working activities on site. During such occurrence of inclement weather conditions, ample means of water should be available to spread on site so that dust does not lift or suspend into air. Sanitary. Adequate arrangements must be made on site for all workers and staff to use sanitary facilities throughout whole currency of relevant project to maintain its working area in healthy and hygienic conditions. Regular courses. In groups, workers should be given feedback on every site safety as well as gas inhale prevention during fire, how and where personnel have to assemble, how loss prevention, fire alarm works, etc. Loss prevention, fire alarm works, etc. and how to construct temporary platforms at high levels to be used for various purposes to meet every site instant requirement. Special courses. How to take precaution to avoid electric shocks or some other hazards. Incentive should be given to all leading workers who keep up proper safety as well as check and advise co-workers and colleagues to take due measures. Accessibility to site horizontally as well as vertically should be explicitly explained to everyone. Positioning of all ladders in excavated trenches which location shall not be more than 8 meters. Everybody should be told to use these ladders in trenches and 8 meters is maximum distance to travel. Provision of all platforms, guardrails of suitable height. For example, use of wooden or aluminum ladder in excavation areas or to various higher working areas. Platform construction, its supports, its toe boards, etc. Fire extinguishers use descriptions. First aid use descriptions. How to access emergency phones for hospitals. Site safety walk. Whenever necessary, site walk should be conducted by responsible safety engineer with dedicated site in charge to pinpoint existing deficiency on installed safety measures and on site correction applied in compliance. Preferably, safety walk meetings can be conducted once a week and observations during talk walk meeting minute written for circulation, action and for records. Risk analysis. Keeping in view all types of operations on site, what risks are imminent should be studied by project safety engineer, manager, and study be conducted in cooperation with responsible construction people so that expected causes of risks and their relevant solutions be explained to site team for implementation of safety measures on site as well as properly demonstrated and documented. Safety respecting heavy equipment. Crane operation, shovel operation, concrete pump operation or some other equipment operation requires a complete safe operation system. How to operate these machines safely on site? License to operate these machines safely on site, license of operations, as well as banksman or riggers instruction manual, third party certification for all cranes and hoisting equipment. Particularly, only licensed operators should be allowed to carry out hoisting or lifting operations. Programs. Regular and frequently safety programs should be conducted on site from every aspect or risk consideration to make aware of conducting overall safety to avoid certain minor or major accidents. Practical training should be conducted for all equipment operators to let them understand all effects of not conforming to defined safety practice operations. Inspections. Safety engineer should inspect working areas frequently to examine that all arrangements adopted on site for running operations meet necessary criteria of adhering to safety rules, and if observed certain deficiency, responsible site engineer should be intimated for resorting to application of corrective measures. Awards. To motivate all workers on site to take due safety measures during working hours and thereafter. As well, compliance awarding system should be adopted for all workers who work with full safety on site and regards safety measures during work. Audits. On away. Okay. Audits. Corporate safety team should check casually and as programmed some safety records physically on site and due observation circulated along with certain proposed corrective measures. A healthy worker on site works many times better than a sick and unsafe worker. It's better to spend reasonable amount on safety rather than spending on loss of work, causing inefficiency on site. Every person on job is important and got a full right to go back home safe and healthy. SAFOP, safety operation. It is first key to get success of doing project in all respects. Safety analysis. SAFOP was safety operation and this is SAFAN, safety analysis. OP stood for operation, here AN stands for analysis. SAF stands for safe. So safety analysis prior to an application of necessary safety. Its complete analysis is a must to know and select one base safety method out of many considered procedures. SISOP, system security and operability analysis. SISOP, system security and operation ability, you may say, operability analysis, very significant from safety engineering viewpoint. SYSOP, system security and operability analysis. Until complete problems are listed, Until complete problems are listed, applicable procedures may not be known. Systems generally involve safety against fire, safety against gas explosion, and safety against an electrical default. Therefore, these requirements import applications of observing all precautionary measures, selection of which depends on various detailed solutions as obtained from considered risk analysis and details of equipment operations. Option: Operator task OPT, operator task analysis, control and field operations. This part also involves detailed study as well as precise application. Slackening should be allowed, no slackening of this task. Attempt should be made to take due measures to prevent accident in hot work as well as cold work areas, and also in restricted and confined entry areas. Permit to work, PTW we call it, system must be applied to various activities in such areas of every facility. Quality assurance. In previous part this one said safety. Driving safety is also very important because on generally major projects there are internal roads, service roads, and driving private cars, plant cars, traffic, truck, all. And speeds are restricted there. Whatever speed, say 20 km per hour only, cannot be exceeded, whatever is mentioned. And driving techniques on such projects are different. Defensive driving is required there, not normal driving, not offending driving. If you are lucky, you will get such people, but they will be safe. They will not make any. Defensive driving means when you drive your car, your vehicle, first of all, don't offend others. Even if other offends you, you have to give way, or you have to protect yourself from that. If you take defensive driving even on main road, you try to protect others rather than people try to unprotect you. That's meaning of that. Very, very gentle driving. You could say in last years 49 or 56, 57. Okay, then quality assurance. Now we go to quality assurance. Requirements of safety will cover in safety talks which you are going to conduct. I conducted many talks, 34 talks last time, but I will repeat them because I want to share documents. I want to share a screen. In those I did not share a screen, so here I will share. I give references of those documents, but now I try again in the battle. Quality assurance. Quality assurance requirements are brief. You can say quality manual, quality plans, quality training, quality induction, quality regular courses, quality special courses, quality audits, quality laboratory dossiers. Term quality assurance or requirements, which includes quality description, quality compliance requirements, quality control being significantly important from client customer satisfaction. Viewpoint that must be clearly understood by all participants, stakeholders on proposed project. Many stakeholders do have an unclear concept respecting these terms. For information, QA is a principal term applies to overall quality system. Organizable or management means total quality system, total quality organization, total quality management, while quality control applies to particular quality control procedure. For example, laboratory testing of materials, site checks, inspections, test plans, and so many other technical procedural involvement during construction operations. Follow-up of defined whole procedure. Follow-up of defined whole procedures as included within approved quality plan. Project from project. Full, you can say, from project inspection to its handover and discharge, that is to be made. You can say this way, I read again. For information, QA is a principal term which applies to overall quality system. Organization means total quality management, while quality control applies to particular quality control procedure. For example, laboratory testing of material, site checks, inspection and test plans, and so many other technical procedural documents, involvement, checks, inspection, test plans, and so many other technical procedures, involvement during construction operations. Follow-up of defined whole procedure. Follow-up of defined whole procedures as included within approved quality plan, like then you can say it's follow-up of defined whole procedures as included within approved quality plan from project inception to its handover and discharge, that is to be made successfully to client customer with full satisfaction, is termed quality assurance. It is understood that compliance with agreed system procedure would certainly deliver quality product. But recently, one term entitling quality requirement has been on lead role that demands at every step of quality operations to evidence that whatever has been included on project must be required on production evidently without granting any concession. QA involves major policy and competency of client company. QA involves major policy and competency of client company based on successful completion of various projects conforming to QA. Past track records is confirmed competent standing. Capacity of company on QA. Company means not be an exclusively its organization, management, but all members of company at all levels of corporate and home office, middle management organization, lower management organization, workers, etc. These include working involvement, respecting all disciplinary and operational departments of company in both home offices, branch offices, field offices, and in front and fields. Market contribution, market collaboration, and involves these include working involvement, respecting all disciplinary and operational department of company in both home offices, branch offices, field offices, and in front and fields, market contribution, market collaboration, and involves so many other effects as such as well, which cannot be covered in brief explanation. These include working involvement, respecting all discipline and operational departments of company, both home offices, branch offices, field offices, and in front and fields. Market contribution, market collaboration, and involves so many other aspects as well, which cannot be covered in brief explanation. Foregoing explanations also apply to contracting organizations. It's added that now QA involves quality requirement for all its intended purposes in construction organization as well as contracting organization. No activity should move without its involvement. Quality plans. A primary document various departments, documentation, systems, procedures for policy decisions in corporations, and accounting, defining definitions regarding companies' goals, instructions, job descriptions of its middle and lower level officers, detailed operational descriptions, procurement and material handling procedures, human resources, organization management, accounting, management organization, transportation, but not limited to this. Companies' planned approach in business and defined approach or methodology to satisfy a prospective customer. Manual is permanent document. Manual is permanent document amendable by reviewing from time to time after its original issue or publication, depending on achieved advancement and progress of organization. Virtually, it is like a written constitution of a company or charter of a company, telling or describing everything about its company, organization, management, performance, roles. All operations and project sections are included as completely descriptive, giving elaborate information to all concerned persons. Based on contents within this document, further documents for presentation and approval are prepared for future upcoming projects or tender submission. Relevant major policies included within this document Relevant major policies included within this document shall guide constituent contents formation within various project quality plans to be operated on newer prospective projects. This document main chapters include describing or summarizing company policy, company's potential, company's long-term objectives in national as well as in international market, company's organization, approach and basis, company's various sections or divisions, corporate structure, constitution of its governing body and applicable regulations or bylaws, staffing level, job description of corporate and senior staff, company's strength comprehensively, giving machinery as well as workforce, manpower, company's know-how, potential, all but not limited to these. Company's know-how, potential, all but not limited to these. Contractor's Project Quality Manual. For purpose of including within its technical package submission for tender or bid as well as for contract authenticated documentation, submission for approval purpose, a proposed document containing specific project details in conformance with company quality manual, giving elaborate explanations respecting various ways, methods and philosophies for executing relevant project from its award to its handover and final completion stage is entitled as Contractor's Project Quality Manual. I read again. For purpose to include within its technical package submission for tender of a bid as well as for contract authentic documentation submission for approval purpose, a proposed document containing specific project details in conformance with company quality manual, giving elaborate explanations respecting various ways, methods, and philosophies for executing relevant project from its award to its handover and final completion stage is entitled as contractor's project quality manual. It shall include all aspects relevant to quality applications meant for specific project. It shall cover all requirements relevant to a particular project. It may be referred to as an agreement of practically working on project site among all constituent parties involved on a particular project contract. Project Quality Plan. Project Quality Plan. This document is specifically constituted for conducting management or organization control functions respecting relevant project and provides all information applicable to prospective job which cannot be generalized otherwise. Included contents respecting various issues within it depends on respond to many specific requirements of project and may differ from one project to other one as well as from one discipline to another one. Contents within this document should be indexed like chapters, headings indicated below for one guidance purpose. While real requirements index can be designed for certain specific project. Description and magnitude of proposed project and company's general policy towards this project. Brief details of prospective project and contract. Project design requirements, project execution program, corporate office involvement, joint venture involvement, subcontractors involvement, specialist vendors involvement, corporate organization management and coordination, corporate safety, health and environment, corporate engineering and all other if relevant to project. Corporate quality assurance, corporate quality assurance, corporate procurement, corporate supports for all disciplines, project site, field management, organization and coordination, project site, field safety, health and environment, project site field engineering, project site field quality assurance, project site field procurement, project site field supports for all disciplines. Aforesaid chapters on parts to be included within this document should be designed in conformance to specific requirements meeting all contract criteria whatsoever, company manual, international practices and standards, conventional practical standards and defined ultimate objective for customer satisfaction. This document should be prepared by divisional quality manager or engineer in conjunction with corporate as well as project organizer, manager, leader, construction leader, project engineer after studying all details and specifications relevant to its contract, general conditions of contract. Proposed draft should be approved by corporate organization or management and then by client. It should be distributed as control copy that cannot be altered. Original master document should be recorded with designated tracing reference as such with document controller. In case some alteration is required, another approval should be obtained. All relevant supervisory staff must know and understand to a maximum extent possible about its contents. Implications and interpretations regarding various provisions made within such document to their respective discipline and explicitly explained to all how how these implementation shall be affected on project execution. This document should detail necessary proposed documentations to be made on site in relevance to a specific project. These records should provide guidelines to be generally used to produce documents, namely NCR or non-conformance report, ITP or inspection and test plans, checklist, etc. Proposed schedule of method statements about construction and all other disciplines should also be indicatively included. Term quality procedures is applied to all such documentations. All foregoing quality requirements philosophies do refer to a system of quality management organization that doesn't guarantee in itself result in quality product. Quality product depends on value of adhering to degree of compliance of quality testing procedure applicable to respective product. Quality control is a subsystem under purview of quality requirement. While it is expected to meet demanded or specified requirement, should quality requirement procedures are fully complied with at every stage of quality system. Quality product depends on value of adhering degree of compliance of quality testing procedure applicable to respective product. Quality control is a subsystem under purview of quality requirement. While it is expected to meet demanded or specified requirements, should quality requirement procedures are fully complied with at every stage of quality system. Quality system applies to all disciplines as well as subdisciplines on a wider perspective of engineering, product, project, construction. Quality system applies to all disciplines as well as subdisciplines on a wider perspective of engineering, project, construction and installation areas applicable on their field. Design philosophies, designs concept, designs detailing buildings, constructions, completions and operations as well as maintenance. For achieving targets on all disciplines of projects, various procedures to go on. Quality system work efficiently under agreed principles are formulated for general as well as specific applications on respective disciplines or part of it. All such subdisciplines required know-how of working proposed systems, their relevant technologies, their engineering, their prosecutions and resulting consequences. Project's main control points or major disciplines named as time, cost and quality are significant, and to an extent these can be controlled to that extent quality requirements are achieved. Time is first factor on top priority and its length is decided keeping in view all foreseen risks and the other factors that can pull time to an uncontrolled line. Cost is affected adversely in case time is not honored. Time-based lost cost cannot be recovered. Quality requires time for its application. Quality requires time for its application, and as a consequence, Quality. Quality requires time for its application. As a consequence, it will not be achieved when sufficient time is not allowed for its accomplishment. Fixing time and cost remaining unchanged and delaying required activities, quality criteria shall certainly be adversely affected, leading to achievement of substandard product. Basic principles on projects understandingly demand or expect that products should comply with the minimum required or demanded quality standards, while value engineering expects product to have quality higher than expected. Quality evaluation more than defined one is termed value engineered over demanded quality. Every product is expected to be added with such value engineering amount, which may or may not be measurable in quality terms. Okay. Then. Oh. Quality everywhere. Quality everywhere. Systems quality, individual quality, element quality. It should be everywhere. Designs. Okay, I think we should hold here for next chapter. We'll take up soon. Let's have to say and hold this for that time being. Alright, see that one. I can think to hold it now. Right, I explained as much as possible on this document. We shall take up next time further. It's already more than 3 hours in this. Thank you.